Dude. Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Well, we're live now.
Sup?
This just in. Stream easier than ever before. Now with scheduling post live DVR and improved metrics. Post live DVR. That just post live DVR. Doesn't it seem a little bit redundant?
It doesn't sound redundant so much as it's just kind of like backwards.
Yeah. It's like, how can you have a live DVR?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess we're technically doing that right now, aren't we?
Sort of.
Okay, I'm gonna roll the intro. It's going.
Do it. Welcome to Check 128, where Jerry's voice is lost from World Maker Fair, but we all expected it, but at least he's here, which people didn't expect him to be.
If you guys are wondering why the background, if you guys are, oh god, if you guys are wondering why the background is black, it's because I don't know where the background went. I started up OBS and I was like, oh, the background's gone. That's neat.
During the intro, there was no actual background, or
no, like the actual background of the stream right now. It's just black. Like I normally have like my kind of a printed, sort of a like a circuit board pattern going on there. It's just gone. I don't know where it went. I didn't touch it since last week. It's just gone.
Just straight up amateur hour here.
I guess. I don't know.
Hey, what do you guys think of my sexy new video, by the way? What do you think?
I think it would look better if someone else was on the camera.
Shut up. You shut your mouth.
Oh god. Okay. So, yeah, I got nothing. I was just telling Jerry actually, we are on new internets right now.
We are
much faster internets than I was dealing with, at least on the downstream.
No more 2400 baud for Jay.
No more. So anyway, what's funny is because this service, literally, I was one of the people. Okay, so according to the senior tech support manager who I kept escalating to, because I know I was like I wasn't getting the answers I wanted. So I was just like, give me your boss. And finally, they were like, I am the boss, right? They're like, there's no boss above me. And I told them, I said, I want the faster internet that I know is available. And they're like, it's not available in your area. I'm like, yes, it is. Now I want it, and I want it now. And he goes, well, the fastest available in your area, huh? Yeah, you do have a 300 megabit available in your area. I was like, okay, now just give it to me, would you? Let's just say like 5 tech calls later, they're like, oh, okay, so here's why you're not getting the 300 you should be getting, sir, is because we're able to sell you the service. Unfortunately, we don't have the hardware yet for it. So they sold it to me, and then they were like, yeah, we don't even have modems. We have DOCSIS 3 8x4 modems, but that doesn't give me the full.
It's kind of putting the cart before the horse, isn't it?
Yeah, they were like, these modems were good enough for the 100 megabit that we sold, but the 300 megabit, yeah, they're being stretched a bit. So I gave it a shot, right? I used my DOCSIS 3.0, and it's an 8x4, so it's 8 downstream, 4 upstream, and I was getting like 270, which I was like, okay, that's not bad considering the ISP only guarantees 70% of their advertised speed as a guaranteed speed. So that means I should be guaranteed 210. I was getting like 270, but the problem was I immediately did a test to download a 60 gigabyte file from my Dropbox.
Yep.
And I noticed that every minute and a half, my downstream would go down to like 100K, and then my internet would completely shit out. And then the modem would reboot. I'm like, oh, yeah. Okay, so I don't think this modem's going to be able to handle this. So then I called them up, and that's when they're like, yeah, we don't have any 16x4 modems in your area. We can send a tech out and see if maybe he has one on his truck. I was like, you know what? I'll just go buy one, okay? I'll buy one. And do me a favor. Refund the setup fee because I'm doing this shit myself. So they did. They're like, okay, fine. We won't charge you the $200 to set it up. Because I was like, you're going to charge me $200 for something you don't even have, and then I have to do it? So
it wouldn't be a first. It would not be a first.
Business America, guys. That's how we do business. We charge you to do it.
Yep.
You have to do it yourself, and we're going to take your money. That's how we do it in America.
All right,
so anyway,
I forgot my donation thing. It's up now, people. Just
so long story short, too late, I know. I'm now getting 400 down instead of the 300 because they actually said that I'm on a platinum node, and that's why it's available to me because the city I live in, these nodes are very spotty. At least the upgraded nodes are. they told me I could get up to 440, and I'm getting 400. So I'm okay with that. I'm getting an extra 100 down. Now, if they could just give me an extra 100 up, I'd be a happy camper.
You're okay with 400 down? Like I'd kill. That's a 4 times what I've got with 3 modems, like all chained together.
I see some folks and they're like $200 setup fee. I was like, yeah, I know, but you know what? I've been dealing with shitty internet now all year, and I was just like, I don't even care about the 200. I could write that shit off. Just give me the service. But then to find out they don't even have modems in my area. So here's the thing. Actually, a little bit more to the story. I forgot to tell you. Last night, the escalated tech support was like, hey, in the morning, go down to your ISP office and then change out your hardware. I'm like, okay, cool. Now this guy was in like Kentucky call center, right? So he's not local. Mm-hmm. I get down there, I walk in, same thing. I was like, I have 300 megabit service. I need to switch up my modem. And the guy was like, we don't have a 300 megabit. I was like, yes, you do. I'm like, you are the service office in the territory that has the 300 megabit. You're like one of the only in the nation. And he's like, well, we didn't get any memos on this. So I go, look at my account. He's like, okay. He looks at my account and he's like, well, yeah, you do have a 300 megabit. He's like, but we don't have. He's like, first of all, he's like, I don't even know what 16 by 8 means on the modem, right? He's a sales guy. What are you doing? Taking a picture?
I'm Instagramming.
Oh. And so, yeah, that's when I knew. I was like, okay, this is going to be a long process to get this thing working, because when they don't even know about a service that I have, how do they support it? You know what I mean? So anyway, that's why I basically got on the supervisor. I said, hey, look, I managed networking in an IT center. We had 6 offices here. I managed VPNs. Listen, I just want to get this shit up and running. Here's the MAC address. It's a 28 by 8 modem. Just do me a favor, provision it, and let's just test it. So he's like, okay. He provisioned it, and he goes, give me a speed test, and then it all worked. And then, of course, he was making all kinds of notes, and they were using my account at this point as like a training tool.
They're like, by golly, it worked. Please stop telling people that call in and want to upgrade their server. No.
Great Odin's ghost. No. So anyway, that was my day.
Contact one of my internet providers and ask them the same question, because like I've got like 2 internet providers. One of them's got to have a better thing going on than they did last year.
It's funny. So Spectrum's like just now getting on the whole DOCSIS 3.0 thing, and it's capable of so much more than 7 up.
Dude, I have to have a DOCSIS 3 just to get my 100 meg. Like I had a DOCSIS 2 and it couldn't even hit 100 meg, even though DOCSIS 2 can. Their 3.0 equipment somehow fucked it up.
Oh. But anyway, yeah, so that was my day. I was planning, because today's video I made yesterday, right? It was up online yesterday. I just waited until today to put it live. And it's one of those things where it was like, I know what I'm going to do today. I'm going to get up in the morning, I'm going to change up my modem, and I'm going to play some games. Nope, I did this shit up until about an hour before Tech Talk. I even told you earlier today, I was like, I'm dealing with ISP stuff. We're on standby.
I was already ready to start flaming you on Twitter for not being on Tech Talk.
Nope. I do what's called persevere. I persevere.
You persevere? Is that a word I need to learn?
That's where you sweat really hard. You persevere.
No, that's perspirate.
Oh, same thing.
Close enough, right? That's how I use words.
So anyway, yeah, guys, go ahead and use the hashtag AskTechTalk. I will keep Twitter open. I'll keep an eye on that one, Jerry. Yep. And remember, it's Ask Tech Talk. It's not Ask Jay or Ask Jerry. It's not
Ask Tech Talk, not Ask to Talk, it's Ask.
The thing is, we get a lot of people that will come at us and like tweet us directly during the show, and then we don't see it because we're not watching, or at least I'm not watching my feed. I'm watching the Ask Tech Talk. So anyway, use that. And
I'll send one out right now.
Do it.
All right,
do it good while I drink my juice here.
All right, I just didn't ask Tech Talk to test things out.
I don't see it.
Say it yet?
No, I don't see it. More options here.
I failed.
All.
I failed as being. You got it?
No, wait. No, the last one I see from you is like August 11th.
Oh, I did ask Tech Talk, does JayzTwoCents shower naked? And
sometimes.
It says I'm posted.
Only in public showers.
Yeah, I only do it in showers that don't have a glass surface that I can see my reflection off of.
Oh, there it is. Yes. Yes. I shower in my...
I like how we can have like a real-time exchange, like over the internet, over the same distance. It takes Twitter like 5 minutes to like transmit the post.
I know, right? I shower in my birthday suit.
In your birthday suit.
All right, what do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about things and stuff, you know?
Oh.
How things are going. I just got back from a New York trip. That was pretty fun and exhausting, but fun. Went to World Maker Faire. I'm trying to edit together all the very random footage because, you know, I never have a plan shooting anything. So I just shot like a billion times more footage than I need. Yeah, I guess we could talk about the whole title topic. Should we just go right after the whole CS:GO gambling bullshit?
Well, it's funny because it's an old topic, but it's kind of revived in the sense that it's now gotten the state involved.
Yeah, so here, let's start out. For the people that don't understand what the CS:GO gambling thing is, basically what's happening is a bunch of 12-year-olds, I mean 18 or older, people are basically using the skin trading system in CS:GO is a type of lottery and gambling system. So basically, when you play the game, you can get certain skins, and then those skins are given certain value, and then you can trade those skins in and out of the system for a monetary like payoff. And there was a whole bunch of controversy around a bunch of big YouTubers not too long ago that were running these gambling sites and basically faking wins and stealing money and embezzling and all crap. Anyways, it basically brought it to mainstream media. Even though people have been doing it for years, it finally elevated itself to a status where everybody knew what was going on. Well, now the Washington state where I live, Washington, the gambling commission here decided to jump on Valve and request that Valve basically start cracking down on the CS gambling thing. And they really want Valve to actually solve this problem on their side by fixing the system so it can't be abused for trading and gambling these skins.
That would have to, the only way that would work is to completely cut off the trading ability, period.
Right, which isn't illegal in any way, shape, or form. So I don't see how the Gambling Commission can even like ask Valve to do such a thing. I mean, it doesn't make sense because all Valve is doing is enabling a game to trade things, right? Everybody can trade stuff.
Don't you hate when people do that?
You stop that right now.
Okay, God.
That wasn't God. I'm just kidding.
It's someone's God.
It's someone's God somewhere. But anyways, the Valve basically just has a mechanism in place that allows people to trade stuff. That's been going on in every game. People can trade items that they get from games, everything. The skin thing doesn't seem abnormal to me in any way, shape, or form. It's just how people chose to use it, right? You can gamble on anything. I can gamble on if Jay is going to take a shit between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. or midnight. You know, depending on how backed up he is and how much cheese he had. But anybody can bet on anything. So I don't see how you can crack down on Valve. That would be like the equivalent of like going to a store and saying, you guys can no longer sell this product because people are actually like trading this product and gambling with it out on the streets. Yeah. I mean, that doesn't make sense to me. Maybe some people in the chat can shed some more light on what they think is going on with this. But Washington State Gambling Commission has officially called out Valve now and wants them to fix the problem. Now, I'm curious to see how Valve responds to this because I don't think Valve has any criminal liability at this point. I think it's just the Gambling Commission is kind of using their clout to kind of put pressure on them and put media pressure on them. But do you honestly think that Valve is going to stop something that's arguably making their game like so much more popular?
Yeah. I don't know. Every game has its issue. Like Warcraft, for the longest time had power leveling and gold sales and stuff that they have made changes in the game to crack down on it, but you can't stop it. And I don't know if you could hold the developer of the game responsible for what third parties are abusing. I saw someone in chat say limit the access to the API so these third parties can't even get involved, but I don't know anything about the way the game is developed, so I couldn't tell you.
No, that is true. The gambling sites themselves actually do use an exposed API for facilitating the transaction and trading of the skins. But those APIs don't put a monetary value on anything.
Yeah.
So that's the part that I really don't understand. I guess I need to look into this a little bit more because it at first glance it doesn't look like Valve is really doing anything wrong. The article that I read didn't even seem like Valve was really doing anything wrong beyond enabling this to happen. But like we said, you can enable a lot of things to happen. This shouldn't be solely on their shoulders. And the other thing is because this is such a big deal. If Valve took it out, they would be shooting themselves in the foot because even though they might not condone it happening, it is making their platform infinitely more popular.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Elmo Tech Tips says, hello, Jay. I want to start a YouTube business like you. Where should I start to get my products? Thanks. You start with your wallet and go to the store.
Yep, you go buy them.
Anyone who thinks they're going to start a channel to get free shit is, they're not going to get anything.
No, a lot of people don't realize, and I've said it before, my channel was not profitable until about just after 2 years and $70,000 of my own money that I dumped into products, building the Nerd Cave, video equipment, audio equipment, shooting. Not that you need that level of stuff, but just because back then it was a hobby for me, and I was doing the Microsoft gig, so I was pretty well off. And now I'm poor people. But back then, I was doing all right. So it's not like my YouTube channel just magically like took off and everybody started sending me stuff. I mean, I literally bought everything I reviewed in the beginning for a good long time.
Yeah. So my channel is just over 4 years old, and it's funny that like 85% of the income that the channel or the business has made has been in the last year and a half.
Yeah.
You know. Anyway,
it's a saturated pool too. That's the thing I want to tell people is this is the hardest time to get into YouTube that's ever been. I mean, every single person on earth has a channel now, just like you know, a Twitter and a Facebook. And so it makes it a lot harder for somebody to break out of that massive pile. So it doesn't mean you can. I'm just saying that unless you have something like really, really freaking special and unique to offer, it's going to be a struggle.
So I was having a Skype conversation with Boogie last night, and he's doing pretty good. We were just chatting about like how shit's been going, because I haven't had a conversation with him in a while, and he was telling me some interesting things that he was learning by talking to some of the YouTube execs at VidCon. Was that he apparently, I don't know how YouTube is actually, I don't know how they're checking these types of analytics, but they've apparently claimed that everyone that is gonna watch YouTube and can watch YouTube is watching YouTube. Like, the audience is pretty much there. There's not much left to tap when it comes to audience, right. And until more people are born and they become old enough to start watching, kind of thing, right?
The Moore's law of viewership is in place now.
Right. So that the only way you can grow now is to nab viewers from other channels.
You literally have to be a view thief now.
which I find really interesting, because you talk about this being the hardest time ever in terms of growing a channel. But I don't look at it that way. I look at it like there's still plenty of room. Now with gaming, if you think you're gonna get famous playing games, you're sadly mistaken. Gaming on YouTube is like the most saturated genre. It is one of the most watched, but one of the most oversaturated channel genres out there. You're just not gonna get seen. You are literally a needle in a haystack for people to find you.
Yeah.
We're just fortunate that we're in tech, which is like pretty untapped in terms of just new people can come. New people have come after us and passed us in subs, and we're passing people that were there before us. You know, so it's like,
you're about to pass me, bro. I'd give it another 30 days, if that.
I already told you, just because I have that giveaway going right now. Which, by the way, if you guys want a GTX 1080, check out my channel. I'm giving away one. Anyway, that's besides the point. I digress. And no, but so I do tell people that are interested in starting a channel in the tech genre, put a spin on it that makes it your own, and do it, and just give it time. But the problem is, because we deal specifically in product, too many people have that mindset of, I want to make a channel because I want people to send me stuff. No one's going to send you anything with that attitude. Not only that, the brands can tell. It's funny because, you know, we're friends with a lot of the brand managers and stuff, and it's funny because they'll vent to some of us that we've been working with for years, right? Like, we know the system, we know how it works, we know how to scratch each other's back, and they'll be like, hey, look at this email I got, and it's like, hey, I got a channel and I want to review some shit, send me a blah blah blah. And it's like, this is not how you get product.
No, it's funny you just mentioned that, because like last week, I won't name the company, but one of the companies that I work with got an email and they showed it to me, and it was literally a guy who wrote out like a 3-page plan on how he decided he doesn't want to work anymore, so he's going to make a review channel, and how he's just starting out, but if the company makes a bet on him and sends him all kinds of free stuff, that he is positive that he's going to be like the next PewDiePie and he's going to blow up and he'll pay it back in spades. But he's like, you have to believe him and you have to take the step with me. All right, are you in? And I was like, and this is over 3 pages. I'm paraphrasing the hell out of it.
Yeah.
But his best credential that he could offer through the whole thing is that he's really excited about technology and he thinks he'll give a new look on it since he's never used it before. Like basically 100% of every single audience trying to reach.
Now, I apologize if you're watching and you've sent me this email, but I've received it from many different people, so no one is specific here. But what I love is when someone sends me an email that's like, I am offering a service where I build computers. I was wondering if you can tell me what parts you think I should use for this build. And it's like, you know what? If you're taking someone's money and offering a service, you better know enough about that service to make these decisions yourself. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Yeah. One of them is, I got an email. It's like, this customer wants this like full hardline loop. I've never done water cooling before. Where should I start? And it's like, don't take their money. Seriously, don't take their money. Oh my God, give me the name of the customer, and I won't do it for them, but I'll just be like, hey, go to Singularity PC, it's worth it, you know. So it's like, so anyway, it just, I think there's a lot of good aspirations out there of people who want to, because we live in a really exciting time where there's more self-made millionaires today than there's ever been. There are more wealthy late teen, early 20s individuals than there ever were. And if you get on this at the right time and you offer something different, then it's exciting. Of course it's stressful, and there's things that go along with this that you never anticipate, like business managers and bookkeepers and tax consultants and all that sort of stuff, the non-fun side of working with this. But too many people sending emails like, how do I get people to send me stuff? You know?
You know, another thing I want to address too here, now that we're on the topics of the emails we receive, is I've received, I'd say in the last 2 weeks, more of the suicide mails than I've ever received before. I don't know if it's because we're coming into the holidays, but they're not the typical ones where people are just, asking for advice or saying that, hey, you helped them. These are the ones where people, and I'm sure you get them too, where people are asking for shout outs for their YouTube channel, claiming that unless they start getting popular on YouTube, they don't think they're going to be around much longer. And they try to put that pressure on you.
I would go the opposite route and say if they're that depressed and they start getting the attention they want on YouTube, then they won't be around that much longer.
And that's what I said to one of them, but I received a lot, and I just stopped responding to them because one of them I read, it was 2 pages. It took me a while to get through, and it was a kid. I won't name any names. Well, teenager. And he said that, he had a, real rough childhood. He had a real rough time in school. And he said that, he's thinking about killing himself this December. And he's like, all I want to do is make people laugh. He's like, I don't want to be famous or anything like that. I just want to reach people. He's like, will you please retweet my channel? This might be like the final time that can actually save me from dying. And he's like, I'm really sorry to have to send you this email, but he kept apologizing at the end. He's like, yeah, it would just mean the world to me if you would actually like shout out my channel or, maybe collaborate with me on something. And he's got to realize, if you're watching, I hope first of all that you get some help and you get some therapy, but you do not want a YouTube channel. If you suffer from depression, trust me, I suffer from depression. I know this firsthand. The worst thing you could do is have a YouTube channel. The worst thing. Jay has watched me through my bad times. Jay knows. Well, actually, a lot of you have watched me through my bad times. Sometimes I turn on the damn camera. The truth is,
guys, by the time when Jerry does his "I'm depressed" videos, he's recomposed by that point.
Yeah, trust me, I'm in a lot worse shape than that. But the truth is, if you are on the verge of suicide or you're having suicidal tendencies and thoughts, the last thing that you want to do is get online and interact with the internet, because people want to find a wound and they want to hurt you and they want you to kill yourself and they want to feel like they were the one that made you do it, because there are sick and disgusting, twisted people out there.
I don't know. I think the internet as a whole is, I'm doing my show. Close that door. I forgot to lock my door. Yeah, that Mrs. J. That's not how. No, I'm just kidding. That was my daughter. Damn it, woman! Where's my sandwich? Yeah, everyone's gonna tweet her and be like, "Oh, look what Jay said about his wife." No, anyway, the internet's very nice. I think the internet is very supportive as a whole. Like, I think the internet wants us all to succeed. It's literally just like campfires and marshmallows and s'mores. Everyone's really, really friendly up here. I don't understand why anyone would be depressed making their living on the internet. With the level of support that we get, you're just being a baby. That's what's funny is that's what people tell us, right?
That's exactly that's why I laughed. I was like you were channeling your inner normal person.
No, I used to get the types of emails you described all the time when my vlog channel was still going active with the where I turn on the camera and vent about stuff.
Yeah.
People don't open up to me as much anymore because, one, Jay's a dickhole, and two, I don't do those types of videos as much, if at all. So I should do more, but you know what? Damn it! There's 24 hours in the day, and I've got 28 hours to get it done. So.
Yeah, well, the thing is, you're pretty composed, even through your rough times, and everybody knows you have them. You can still keep going. You don't shut down, but a lot of people do, and it's hard for them to like continue on when they have a lot of pressure and they have a lot of strain on them. You kind of feed on that. You're one of those guys where like. I'd say maybe there's like once or twice since I've known you where you've been in a place where you're like, legitimately stressed out. Every other time you're just like covering it up and you're like, screw this, do this. You're always going.
There was that one time I was really stressed out and I went walking down the street with an AR strapped to my back. That'd be a bad idea. No, I didn't really do that, guys.
That. Dude, if you're in Texas, that's just going for a walk.
No, Texas is actually really turning the opposite direction there. But anyway, no, you're right. I just try and channel it. I don't know. That's one of the things Boogie and I were talking about last night. He's like, your channel looks like it's doing really good. I was like, yeah. He goes, how you doing mentally? I was like, fuck if I know. So it's just like, I don't sleep anymore. You guys have noticed like the team Jay no sleep or team no sleep. You know, Jay is back. My eyes are always bloodshot. So of course everyone's like, oh look, Jay's doing pot. Jay's doing pot because his eyes are red.
Yeah, like I'm down on sleep from the New York trip. I'm like fighting to stay awake right now. I'm sorry I'm not super energetic. My voice, of course, is shot, but it's like I wanted to do Tech Talk. I got a fancy new microphone that I really love, and I'm shooting this on my Sony RX100 M3 through my capture card. So I'm not using a Logitech webcam for the first time ever.
Yeah.
And so I really wanted to do this, but again, I apologize. I'm usually a lot higher energy than this. And I know the topics aren't that great, but this is something I really want to talk about. And I am doing a video on it because it's happened enough now that I really need to I need to nip this in the bud, because if people are thinking that they need to force the hand of larger YouTubers by threatening to kill themselves and make it seem like it's somehow their fault if they don't cooperate, it's almost like a form of holding somebody hostage. That's not cool. Like, you need to get help, because if you really feel that way, one, you don't need a shout out. I'd actually be doing you more harm shouting you out than anything in that mental state. And number two, if you're just saying that whatever it takes to get yourself retweeted and to build your channel, well, then you're just quite frankly an asshole.
You know, that's what I was just gonna say. Is I hate to be that guy, but I look at those types of emails as them simply trying to get your vulnerability or pull at your heartstrings to try and get what they want. You know, especially when it's like, I'm going to kill myself in December. Like, really? I don't think anyone that's in that place is going to time it 4 months out or even time it at all. You know? Yeah. So I hate to be that guy, but it's like, you know what? When they write this emails, it's like, how much of this is attention seeking versus what's actual, you know? And sending an email amongst thousands of emails to hope to be seen for that cry for help, I just, even in my worst place, I know emailing a YouTuber would not be the right place to go. So I don't know. I just don't look at those sometimes as being as genuine as they might be. But I guess that's because being where we are, we kind of have to look at everything through that type of perspective.
Yeah, tell me this. Like now that you have a big YouTube channel and you've come. We've both kind of been on the same trajectory on and off throughout our online careers. Have you noticed that you start kind of becoming numb to all the massive amount of scams and emails and stuff that are coming in? And they do increase in volume. The larger you get and the bigger presence you have, the more harsh and calculated that some of these things get. And again, they're completely in the minority. Don't get me wrong. The majority of the people support, but the loudest ones are these ones that are trying these tactics. And the thing is, when I read it, I have to assume that it's real. I mean, I might not be able to react, but I have to assume that it's real, because it's the one time that you blow that person off and they do something that it's really, really bad. But that doesn't mean necessarily that I'm going to respond either, because if I respond, I could make things a lot worse. But that's why I kind of want to just get out there and spread the message that, no, that is not the right thing to do. And again, assholes, there's no way to tell them out, right? Or to tell them apart. Right. There is. But have you noticed this? Like, I've even kind of noticed watching you alongside me is that you've become kind of numb to the bullshit.
Sorry, I don't even laughing right at that point. I'm being texted by my wife. She went to the grocery store, got what she needed, went back to the car, realized she forgot something she needed, went back in, just came back out to the car and texted me again. Ugh, I forgot something else I needed. So she's going back into the store again, and she's got the baby with her. So I can imagine, like, on security cam, she would have to look as suspicious as could be right now, going in and out of this store over and over and over again. Sorry, I wasn't laughing at what you were saying.
Tell her to start picking stuff up and just walking across the yard with it, like setting it in the bushes. You know, like the people do that case your house, like where they just try to get everything closer to the curb and then come by later and pick it up.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Man. So I'm trying to figure out what the heck Hobbs is talking about here.
What is it? Let's
get
into.
Geez. Okay. So apparently because we put CSGO in the title, he said we were getting hit by bots posting CSGO gambling sites in chat.
Really?
Apparently.
Yes. That's hilarious.
See, that just goes to show how much of YouTube is truly automated.
I like this. Somebody over in chat said, "Hey Jerry, will you grow some weed for me? I'll buy it from you and pay for postage to the UK." he said it was a joke, but I'm just laughing because it's like legal here.
He's like, I'm just kidding.
just kidding.
Not really.
Call me.
Yeah, got my number. Okay, so here's a fun question. We're gonna go ahead and change gears a little bit. This one's on the Ask Tech Talk on Twitter. I'm letting the donation comments kind of stack up for a little bit, and then we can bang those out.
Yeah.
We'll bang that shit like razors. But anyway,
and again, sorry about the depressive topics. I just wanted to say that. I'm sorry.
I'm trying to fix it. If you would just let it go. God, Elsa.
Let it go.
All right.
Let it go.
Wibbity woobity. I think it's something about that booty. He says, Ask Tech Talk, what has been your most memorable moment or moments throughout your YouTube careers?
Ooh, that's a good one, actually.
I think it's hard to pick even just one or two, honestly.
Yeah, no, I mean, I couldn't pick them, but for me personally, I think probably hitting 100,000 subscribers and actually getting a plaque with my Barnacles Nerdgasm written on it with like the little silver play button. I know it looks like it was like made for like $5 in China, but I don't know.
And they have fingerprints under the glass.
It did. Yeah, no, it still does.
It
has like two finger butts. No, but you're right. It has fingerprints, so I could probably like take that to a forensic scientist and figure out like who actually handled that play button.
Someone in Shenzhen.
Yep, probably.
Yeah, I think one of my memorable moments coming up is going to be that gold play button. That'd be nice.
I was going to say surpassing me. It's going to happen. There's only one stat that you don't beat me in yet. One single measly little stat, and you're going to just blow me out of the water.
That's a measly little stat.
Measly little stat. No, Jay, you honestly, I'm gonna bloat your ego right now and say I am proud of you, dude. Like, even through all the downturn of the internet, all the shit with the YouTube rules changing constantly and everything.
I'm just giving you a kiss back there, sir.
You done a good job. You done a good job.
Thank you, sir. It is just.
It's a lot of work, though, isn't it? It's a lot of work. You guys don't realize like what goes on, and like Jay works 24 hours a day. I don't. I should work 24 hours a day, but I don't. Jay works 24 hours a day. It's crazy tiring even.
So here's the thing. I'm so hard on myself here that
I'm hard on yourself.
Oh yeah. So if I have sort of a schedule. It was Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I'm kind of converting it to Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Just because of the shitty upload in 4K now, I need to let uploads go overnight, so I can't do same day uploads like I had been doing. If I miss a schedule or something doesn't go right, or I encounter a problem that puts me off schedule, you can ask my wife. I am a grumpy son of a bitch when I miss a mark. Like, that's just the way I am. That's what my work ethic is. And if I miss a mark, I am just I'm pissed off and I'm not happy. So then I just work harder, and then I end up working really late and stuff. But it sucks. You know, it's funny. Like, I'll come up with the computer, I'll sit down, like, I'm gonna play some games. Next thing I know, I'm in invoicing, I'm in QuickBooks, and it's like, ugh. It's like, I'm supposed to be playing games, I'm not supposed to be playing Job Simulator for real. But anyway, okay, so when I had 3,000 subs, I was contacted by Fox News in Orlando. They wanted to use a clip of mine in one of their little like comedy skits about jobs that were booming in 2013, and they wanted to use mine because I did a rant about what it was like working in IT. I was literally just ranting, but very comedy sketch, and they used snippets of that in the news, and then it was syndicated. So that was fun. And then actually, no, it wasn't. I guess it was gonna be. No, it was January. Yeah, it was January 2013. That's how long ago it was. Since then, I've gotten to meet like some pretty incredible people. Like, I've become friends with Boogie 2988 on a personal level. Gotten to meet him at VidCon several times, hang out with him. We went to Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. That's fun. I mean, I think the things that are memorable for me, honestly, have nothing to do with videos, and they have nothing to do with YouTube. It has to do with like the people I've gotten a chance to meet, like people I've always looked up to, have gotten to hang out with. Right. So you and I have become pretty damn close for strangers on the internet. Got to meet like the New Egg crew. I always watched Paul and his stuff. You know, I got to meet Linus, but to be honest, I was more excited to meet Luke. So I got to hang out with Luke a few times. That was fun. But then just becoming recognized and held in esteem by brands that I always looked up to. Like EVGA. I was such an EVGA whore. I still am, and you guys know that. Every graphics card I ever owned once I turned to Team Green back in like 2004 was EVGA cards. Except for the very first NVIDIA card I got actually was BFG. Do you remember that brand? BFG? Big fucking gun?
Yep.
I had a BFG, and then I went to EVGA after that. But having companies like NVIDIA, recognize you and pay to fly you somewhere to an event, that sort of thing, that's definitely memorable. That's why I can't just pick one. It's going, I took a hobby and became literally like an elite within that hobby, which is just exciting. And I don't like to call myself an elite, but enough people have told me to stop telling myself that, because the reality is I am an elite in this space, and it's exciting. It really is. And I try to be responsible with that. But I think people have noticed over the last couple weeks, I've just started being like, you know what? Fuck the haters. We say that all the time, fuck the haters. But like, I think you guys can tell now, I'm so much fuck the haters at this point that I make videos that specifically taunt them now. And it's fun. That's fun. You know how fun it is?
I need to get back to that, because
how fun it is? How fun it is to taunt the people that you're like, the whole time you're recording this, you're like, oh God, I can hear, I can see, and I can read the comments before I even make this video. And that fires me up to make it.
It does, actually.
So,
and I don't think there's any problem with that whatsoever.
no.
But I do agree with you. I try to stay humble in my mind. We're both fathers, we're both husbands. We try to, but if you play it down too much, then like you said, I mean, it's worse for you in the end.
Yeah.
It's you will never progress past a certain point if you just saying, okay, I'm just this little guy, I'm just doing this little thing. It's like, no, it's your business, it's your brand. You have to be serious about it. You have to grow it. You have to push forward. Because ultimately, if you don't, you're not only hurting yourself, but you're also hurting the entertainment that you're giving to other people.
Boogie, I only had 1,000 subs when I met Boogie. And he told me something. As I started to grow, the very first time somebody recognized me was actually at CES 2013. And I was really caught off guard, because I had never been in that situation where a stranger knows who you are and you don't know who they are. And they're all excited to see you. And to me, I'm just like...
Yeah.
Yeah, and to me, it's just like, I am me. I'm used to me. I am not very exciting. But to that person at that moment, it's a different story. And I remember telling Boogie, I was like, it's weird when people get all excited to meet me or run into me, because I'm like, I'm just a regular guy. He's like, but not to them. So when you because I used to tell people like, I'm just a regular guy, I don't get all excited. And they'd be like, no, man, I want a picture, right? I told Boogie I would say that, and he goes, dude, you need to stop saying that. He goes, you got to understand, at that moment for them, they're meeting someone that's like a celebrity to them. And for you to play that down, plays down their excitement and almost invalidates their excitement. He's like, so don't do that. He's like, just play into it. Okay,
so for the first time ever, I had somebody actually cry meeting me at World Maker Faire.
That's probably because they got to see you in person and they're like, fuck, this dude stinks.
No, they were like, they just walked in, they just lost it. They were speechless, and he had his parents with him, and he just lost it. And so I just gave him a big old hug and talked to him for a little while, but you could tell he was stunned, and I still can't wrap my head around that.
I was at the LA County Fair with the wife and the kids, and that's when I bought that steam mop that I'm all excited about. And right after I bought it, a guy was walking by, and it's funny, you're in a crowd like shoulder to shoulder with thousands of people, right? I'm in a crowd walking down an aisle, and I just hear, "Is that Jay from JayzTwoCents?" And I turn around and I was like, "Hey, buddy." He's like, "Hey, man, I want to get a picture." And his dad took the picture, and his dad was all smiley, because to him, like, even his dad was like, my son's meeting someone he really looks up to. That's exciting. And they took a picture. We shook hands. He was like, "Hey, it was nice to meet you." I was like, "Hey, do you think I should do a review of this steam mop?" He was like, It was funny. He was like, no joke. It was like, maybe you should let Barnacules do it. So it was like, okay, that's probably more up Barnacules' alley. But I've met a few people who've had their parents with them, and it's funny. Sometimes the parents get more excited for their kid than the kid, because the kid's too shy to say anything.
No, it's true. I actually had a parent run me down because their kid had a booth. And so he was running a booth at Maker Faire, and he couldn't come see me himself. So they actually like hunted me down and like drugged me to his booth to meet him. And he actually had a really cool thing. It'll be in the Maker Faire video when I release it. But I just thought it was really funny that these parents are like actively trying to seek out people that their kids like watch and look up to, and bring them to their booth. I was like, okay, this is a new thing. So this is the first year I really experienced that. It happened a couple times.
Yeah.
But it's fun. I do like that. I do like when you can go someplace. The only time it gets a little bit weird is when you have the people that are just a little stalkerish. You know what I'm talking about? Like the people that won't come talk to you. They just stay 10 feet away from you at all times. And anywhere you look 24 hours a day, they're standing there.
Yeah. I saw a comment go by saying that, so what Jay's saying is just phoning it in and pretending like he cares when you meet someone. No, not at all. That's the way it was in the beginning. But now it's like, I realize that these are the people that get excited to meet you. They're the people that are excited to watch your video when it goes live. They're the people in here watching Tech Talk right now. They're the people that literally are what our channel's built on. So I get excited to meet them. And sometimes I forget to ask, but I like to ask people who meet me. I was like, what's the first video you watched? Because I kind of like to know, like, how did you find me? Because it's information that means something to me, right? And they're usually answers like I would have never expected. Like, you expect your viral videos to be how someone found you. But no, it's like, sometimes it's the videos that I hate the most. They're like, oh yeah, I subbed to this video. And it's like, really? You subbed to me when I made that piece of crap?
Funny case in point. So when I'm in New York, I meet Jimmy DiResta. Do you know who he is?
No idea.
Okay, he's more famous than I think the both of us. But he does like woodworking and reel maker stuff, and he lives in New York. And so I go and meet him, and he actually knew who I was, which I wasn't expecting. And not only did he know who I was, he knew who I was from my weight loss vlog.
Oh, interesting.
Of all the things a maker could know me for, this is a guy that builds things and 3D prints and does all this stuff. That knows me for my weight loss vlog.
Okay, when I was in the NVIDIA event, this is the last thing I'm going to say, and then I'm going to move over to the donation comments. When I was at the NVIDIA event, that was a couple of months, maybe a month after I had made the I've been self-employed for a year, and this is how it's been, like where I just turned on the camera and talked about being self-employed for that first year. I met a ton of people at that event, because remember, it was also with DreamHack. So DreamHack was in Austin at the same time, and so a lot of people from DreamHack came over to the NVIDIA event. And tons of people met me. And Hobbs was there too. I got to hang out with Hobbs for a little bit. And the thing that everyone kept telling me when they met, hey man, I loved your video about you quitting your job. That was the thing everyone kept saying. I love that video. I love that video. I love that video. And I think I've said it before. That was a filler video because I had nothing else planned. But it was genuine.
It's weird.
But it was genuine. So, okay, here we go. Nick Siesta. I hope I said that right. It's not like... No, it's not spelled that way. It's spelled S-Y, like siesta. I know this is not a tech related. Like we talk about anything tech on this channel. I know this is not tech related. Can I get a good luck wished for the people in Florida? Because, oh God, yeah, dude, Hurricane Matthew.
That's horrible.
He says about to hit. I'm one of those people as well. Thanks, guys. I hope you still have internet right now. I was watching some CNN footage actually from what's going on in Florida right now. And after what happened in the Caribbean with that hurricane, holy hell, man, that's 125, 130 mile an hour winds right now.
Yeah.
Crazy.
No, dude, I landed when I got married in Disney World. When we were landing, like every one block, you'd find at least one building where the wall was collapsed. It was after they had that big hurricane back then. Yeah. So and this is worse than that one. So God, please stay underground, stay safe. If you stay, you evacuated.
I had a lot of people asking me how we were faring because we had like an entire cluster of earthquakes here, like little ones, like tiny ones.
Yeah.
I didn't feel a single one, but then again, I live in a very earthquake-prone area. I don't feel if it's not big enough to start actually making the walls and things on them shake. I don't feel them. It's just normal.
Right.
It's like your sea legs, right? You're just used to the movement. But I did yesterday, went out into the backyard, and you've seen that new concrete slab, right?
Yeah.
It's all cracked to shit. There's cracks everywhere.
Wow. Do that? Jeez.
Yeah, it's cracked everywhere, like across the entire thing. And then there's one part where it actually sunk probably a good inch. So the ground not only moved, it sunk a little bit. So yeah, it's
over in chat just said I have a bunch of alcohol. I'm in Florida. I have a bunch of alcohol. I'm ready.
Stocked up on his emergency kit.
Just get drunk and chill in your basement. That's what you bring. Pull a VCR out of a box, plug it in while you still got power.
All right, I'm gonna lightning round some of these. Brian, he says, "Hey Jay and Jerry, finally got to catch a show live. I'm all boarded up in my house waiting for the storm to blow over. It's my first storm, and I'm a little bit worried. Love you guys." I think I find it fascinating. It's his first storm. There's a hurricane. It's boarded up, and he's watching us.
I know. Should we be concerned if the viewership drops from 1,900 to like 900 in the next couple of minutes?
I don't know, man.
Be terrible.
Yeah. I've never been in a hurricane or a tornado. I think I would be more afraid of that than any earthquake I've ever been in. And I've been in some big ones.
I've been in one hurricane when I was a kid up in Puget County. There's an inlet coming in from the ocean.
Yeah.
And the winds got just a touch over 100 miles an hour, which is considered a very, very low end hurricane. But it was still enough that like limbs were busting off the trees and like whacking into the side of the house like really loud, and the walls were actually shifting in the house, and the drywall was cracking. Yeah. And it scared the crap out of me. And yeah, power was out for like a week. Massive flooding. It was terrible.
Apparently, we're in the CS:GO section of YouTube gaming right now.
That cracks me. Somebody kept commenting over there like, "Hey, we gonna start gambling or what?" Like, no, we're talking about CS:GO gambling. We're not actually gambling. Oh, by the way, just real quick, I did do some reading while you were talking earlier on the CS:GO gambling. Valve has a mechanism in place to basically trade skins to the house, or sorry, not to the house, trade skins to other players, and then put those on the exchange and sell them for in-game credit on Steam. But there's external parties that are actually putting the monetary value on things and exchanging the skins for real money. So Valve is not doing anything with money trading at all. I can absolutely confirm that for fact. All they have is a virtual marketplace. So it's no different than like trading and selling things in other games and their in-game market.
Then Washington State needs to get their shit together. All right.
Yeah,
So Mike Games, this is such a random comment. I love it. Jay, I got a new toothbrush. Love the channel and love Jerry's channel, dude. Don't ever change.
Sweet toothbrush, bro.
I almost reviewed the Lady Gaga toothbrush. I think I told you that before. I was at Fry's Electronics and there was a Lady Gaga toothbrush in the as seen on TV section. And apparently it's supposed to play Lady Gaga songs to the perfect amount of time at which you're supposed to brush per quadrant.
Do you really want Lady Gaga on your mouth? That's the first question.
Do you want Gaga on your mouth? Sounds pretty funny.
No.
Kyle Buchanan says, "Hey Jay, I'm looking to get into getting a DX Racer chair, but a lot of reviews lately are getting bad." Okay, so the DX Racer chair right there, that's an Iron Series. It's a first edition Iron Series. I have the newer Iron Series. That chair, when I lean back in it, goes clunk clunk, and then when you lean forward, it goes clunk clunk, like really loud. And now the black one is starting to do it too. So I don't know, man. The problem is all these race car series chairs have like popped up overnight. They're all made in China and they're all made in the same factory, and they all are really expensive. And I think they eventually break. So they're all gonna break. I'm still on my original DX Racer though, so it lasted me longer. Yeah, but your armrest like popped off.
No, I did. I got it right here. I mean, it stays on the chair. It's just not as adjustable anymore. Actually, it's more adjustable now. No. So that's the thing is with these is just realize. I mean, they're not going to be like a Herman Miller or a super high end office chair.
Do you want to Gaga gag? Sorry.
Okay. I'll tell you what though. When I was at PAX this year, I did notice that DX Racer has a new chair that literally looks like a sofa. It's like massive. Have you seen that one?
Sorry, I was watching the stream. What now?
No, I was saying, have you seen DX Racer's new chair that they have that literally?
Oh, yeah, yes. I saw it at E3.
I sat in that thing, and that thing felt like it was built like Thor's hammer. So, and I think the rated weight on it was like 400 pounds or something like that. So, if you're a big fellow, like Jay isn't anymore, I'm working on it. But if you're a big fellow, I would say get one of those huge ones. They're going to be expensive. I know they're.
Check this out. Are you ready for this? You know what's rated to that weight is the base where the casters go. Not the hydraulic cylinder or the frame of the chair itself. The base that touches the floor is. So what breaks is everything else. Literally.
Well, that doesn't do much any good.
Yeah, it's like this bullshit. So anyway, let's see. This one will do it. Let's see. Yeah, you hear that thunk? Listen.
You know what though? Have you seen?
Wait, don't say anything. Don't say anything. Listen, I'm gonna turn my mic up. Check. Okay, listen to this chair.
I can hear that. Yeah.
So that clunk, that little clunk, over time gets really loud. Like if I got in that chair and did it, you're just gonna hear like boom, boom, pop, boom, boom, pop, pop. It sucks.
The one thing I have noticed though is if you tighten everything up regularly, you don't have too many problems. Like my first chair, I never tightened it up. And
the back keeps getting loose.
Yeah, so. You got to wrench that sucker down and use like Loctite Red on it. I don't know why they don't do that for the factory, but yeah, I mean overall, I still think they're decent chairs. Just they're expensive. Yeah. For what I like them though, like you notice, I'm still using my DX Racer, and I've had it.
They're like $450 though. I mean.
Yeah. No, you know what I really like though is a Herman Miller, but they won't give me one, so I'm gonna have to buy one.
Eric Steele says, Jay, can you put the EVGA backplate on a 1080 with an EK water block on it? Oh, good question. I know the Founders Edition you can't. I don't think so.
Stupid Founders Edition card.
I don't think so, but I could be wrong. I really don't know. Sweeping Zero says, hey, Jay, are you planning on doing that DSR versus native resolution video? I'm curious as to how much difference it makes. I do want to try it. That's a dynamic super resolution where you artificially turn a 10K panel into a 4K.
I don't see how that could benefit you in any way.
Yeah. I don't know.
I should do it. It's like how do we burn GPU cycles just for shits and giggles? Like that's like I don't know. Try it. Let me know if there's like any noticeable, appreciable change in like slopes and lines and staircasing and stuff. I mean, there's got to be something like reasonable.
That sounds like a gamer's Nexus or a PC per level project there. If you want to know the truth.
It sounds like somebody needs to like sit there with like a freaking eye loop and look at pixels on the screen.
Yeah.
I mean. That's
Graham
not
Hatch says, "Thanks for the show. It just makes my day." You're welcome, sir.
I love you. I'd give you a hug right now.
Lakshya Pratap. I wonder if he's in India.
Hey,
he
that
says,
was racist, Jay.
No, it's not. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty
that-
sure Coconut Monkey has a cousin with that same exact name. I'm not even kidding. Hey Jay and Jerry, I am in the market for FR sports car. Assuming he's saying front rear.
Yep.
What car would you suggest, and what car do you hate the most? God, see again, no price range. No price range.
Just go for okay, sub 100,000. Let's just pick a price range under
front
100.
rear sub 100,000. Find yourself a clean Mark IV Supra.
You know what? I'm gonna agree with you on that.
Because you can find one for 20, 25 grand, then you got 75 grand left to put in it.
Well,
and
no,
you
the
can
ones
be all
that-
like Fast and
the
Furious and
2JZ,
go. What?
You are not gonna find one of those under 30 for a 2JZ. Like
Yeah.
no.
Yes, sir, there's one out here. The problem is it's an automatic, but you can swap that.
Oh, okay. So the automatics are the one because no, up here in Washington, it's like I tried to get one and I could not believe the money they were going with the mileage on them.
Yeah.
But at any rate, you could get one and build it back to like new for probably like 40 and have like a brand new Mark IV Supra that's got like 1,000 horsepower.
Jordan Kevin Dibble says, "Hey Jay, what coolant would you recommend for red color? And how's the new Skunkworks going?" The new Skunkworks is fantastic. You can see her right there. See,
I recommend water personally. I think water.
Yeah, I would probably say something like distilled water with red in there. If you kind of want that crystal red that it's still see through. I still stay away from red pastels because of the color change issues I was having with hot loops. But this loop does not get nearly as hot as it used to, so I'm almost positive I wouldn't have color change in this system because it's not nearly as hot.
Hey, tell us, Jay, I got a question. When you did all the testing on the coolants and how effective they are, like way back in the day, did water beat out everything? Or is there another coolant that's actually more effective than water?
The nanofluids, quite honestly, had a more consistent temperature. Water had a lot.
Okay.
Water had a lot of spiking in there and variance of temperatures across the cores, which I couldn't explain. I'm like, I don't understand why I was seeing such a huge variance in temperatures across the core when I had just distilled water with PT Nuke and a kill coil in there, or a silver coil in there. But once I went to the nanofluids, the core temperatures were much closer together and much lower than just distilled water, which I was okay, whatever. Water is the easiest. Or distilled water, you can, for most people, can go down to the grocery store and get them.
Yeah.
But I still prefer the nanofluids, quite honestly.
Interesting. No, I was just curious because I know that water for like a century now has not been replaced as the default coolant in most things.
It's still the base on all the coolants. It's just everyone's just adding things to them like growth inhibitors and anti-corrosives and stuff. All right, John Brown says, "Hey Jay and Jerry, just watched the beginning of the show while riding up the Cajon Pass on a motorcycle." Hey, he just drove past my area.
Nice.
Keep up the great work, boys. Also for chat, press 7 if you ride. Thank you. He wants to know who all rides out there. I drive.
Yeah.
I drive a Cage, sir.
I'm gonna put 3 because I don't ride.
I don't ride. I don't conform. All right. Hey Jerry. Kyle Buchanan again says, "Hey Jerry, my family is going on vacation to Seattle on October 20th through the 22nd. Can you do a meetup?"
And October 22nd. Let's see. Are you
That's
gonna be
the
up?
weekend I'm gonna be there.
Gonna be here. We might have to do a little makeup. Maybe like mocks.
Oh, you know what? He's gonna be there 20th through the 22nd. I think I'm flying up on the 22nd, which is Saturday. I might move it to Friday. I just don't know. I don't know.
We'll figure it out. We might do a meetup while Jay's in the area. But if it doesn't happen, if it happens, it happens. We'll
Maybe
see.
I'll come up Friday. I hate flying on Fridays because it's a busy flying day.
Somebody just told me to chug Jaeger. I can't chug Jaeger. I got gout now.
Brendan, I could get drunk.
Like I'm putting 3 now. They don't even know why.
I should do that again. We should do the Jay gets hammered again.
We should with me completely sober.
You were last time almost.
No. I was still buzzing pretty good. I just wasn't on your level, not my level.
You were nowhere near my level. Brendan Guilford says, "Since I donated 10, you have to read this comment twice or I'll kill myself." Not funny, sir.
Not
It's
funny.
Funny. I'm not reading that comment twice.
Nope.
Austin Pierce says, "I live in North Carolina, and news here says they think it won't turn around. It might come right through here. Also, Tech Talk is in the CS:GO section of YouTube Gaming." Well, I hope that the storm just makes a hard right. Honestly,
Well, our viewership is about the same as it always is, so I don't think it being in
it's
CS:GO.
actually a little lower than it usually is. I think it's lower because we're in CS:GO.
Oh my gosh.
Austin
And
Pierce
if I
said,
read
oh,
a couple
already
lines,
said
because I got a lot of them here.
I'm trying to get through these.
Here,
Matt Takako says, "Hey Jay, and Bill, any build vlogs coming up? They tend to be some of my favorite videos. I still have the DG87 video to do." Jason Maiska says, "Thanks for making some awesome videos and inspiring me to water cool your PC. Awesome."
Oh.
Dace Sranen says, "Jay, first video I saw was the $800 water cooling how to blow your budget video. I said this guy is a goober and I've been watching ever since." And that was such a dumb video. It was like 45 minutes long too.
You're a goober. Back make videos like I do now.
I know, right? Jared Zarnakow says, "Hey Jay, here's 5 since I missed you last week. Was too busy stalking Jerry this weekend." We didn't actually have Tech Talk last week because Jerry was at World Maker Faire, and I just wanted to spend time with my family, so I didn't do it.
Do you remember who Zarnakow is? The tickle your pickle for a nickel guy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he donates every week.
He physically gave me a nickel at Maker Faire. And I didn't understand. This guy just walks up to me and hands me a nickel, and I'm like, huh? And he's like, "I want to tickle your pickle for a nickel." And I was like, "Well, do you got to tickle my pickle now?" Like, it was very awkward and
he's
funny.
like
it was like the greatest thing ever.
He was two-fingering your balls. Okay,
Yeah, a little bit.
Jacob says, "Hey guys, I'm sitting here at work listening to Little Hard over 3 CNC mills running in the background. Haha, love the show. All right, we got to be louder than the mills in his machine shop. We're going to start yelling really loud."
General Mills. Are they General Mills?
Everyone else, turn down your volume. We have to yell for Jacob.
You're not going to get yelling out of me. My vocal cords are shot. Hey, but on the plus side, I went and saw my doctor today, and he referred me to an ear, throat, and nose doctor who's going to like stick things up my nose and down my throat and figure out. He was just
sick of seeing you. Actually, you could have the same issue I had when I was younger. If I went to an amusement park and I went on a ride and I screamed, I came off that ride and had no voice for a week. They found out I had growths like polyps on my vocal cords.
That's what I'm probably having.
And what would happen is that they would get inflamed, and then my vocal cord couldn't move anymore.
Did they remove them?
No, they because I was only 8 at the time. Yeah. They wanted to see if I outgrew it, and I did. If I scream, I'll still get really hoarse, but I don't completely lose my voice like I did before. They're still there. It's just it was an elective surgery, so
I need to get my throat vagina fixed.
Yeah, your throat vagina is a little bit stretched out.
It's kind of stretched out and dry.
Sleepy says, or Sleepy21 says, "Hey Jay, love the videos. Quick question: will you ever open a merch store? Would love to some Jay merch. I have no designs, no concepts, no ideas. That's why I have no merch store. Honestly, I'm bad at that." Latkitchya Protap again says 20,000 to 40,000. He's in Pennsylvania. You could get a Mark IV. I would just be careful of any car you buy in the Northeast, especially the Northwest too. Check for rust. Seriously.
Yep.
Anywhere there's snow, look for rust. Get under that car. And Austin Pierce again says, "I'm looking into buying either a Subaru Legacy GT or a 350Z. Which should I buy? I'm looking to buy for a max of 8,000. You won't get much of a 350Z for 8,000 depending on where you live. In SoCal, they're still way overpriced, especially for like an HR. A Subaru Legacy GT. Can you do like an FJ swap in a Legacy?
Oh, totally. Absolutely.
Yeah, then do that. Okay, only if you're looking for a project car. If you're
I've seen an STI Legacy swap before, like at a car meet that I went to. They popped the hood and it was the 2.5 liter turbo, transmission, everything swapped over.
Okay.
You probably have to like rejigger the driveline and stuff, but yeah, it's possible.
If you're looking for a project car, I would go with the Legacy. If you just want a car you can get in, go through some corners and have some fun, the 350Z will just be, I think, a better platform to just hop in and drive, honestly. Yeah. Only if it's a 6-speed, though. The manuals or the automatics suck. All right, Jimmy Shaw's Tidbits. "Hi, Jay. Jerry, for video editing PC, do you recommend AMD or Intel processor? Which one?" Dude, hands down, Intel. Intel just handles those instructions better. All right, Jerry.
That was a trolley comment.
that was my last one for now. So why don't you do a couple here?
All right, let's go ahead and cruise through here. All right, we got a $5 donation from Grammy Hatch with no message. So I guess that was just supporting the cause.
Hobbs says that the Legacy GT has an EJ255, almost as good as the 257 found in the Impreza.
So slap a turbo on it and go faster.
There you go. Don't even have to swap it.
So Mike Mixon said, "We totally need you to upload some car videos after teasing a second channel. Also, when's Jay hosting Tax Talk?"
I know, right?
Yeah, no, we're going to be talking crap around that period. As far as Cargasm, I'm just waiting for the 30 days or whatever for YouTube to basically ratify the channel. But basically, I've already got a bunch of cars lined up, which is awesome. So literally, I just got to like call anybody on the list, and boom, we got a video. So yeah, no, we'll definitely be doing that. I am going to upload the GRC video to my channel sometime next week. And the GRC video will also have some information about the Cargasm channel, what I'm going to do with that at the end. But in a nutshell, I just wanted a really cool excuse to go drive a bunch of really cool cars that I'll never be able to afford. And I think this is going to be the vehicle to do it.
Oh.
Let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay, moving up. Sorry here. Matt. Was it Matthew? That's a weird way to spell Matthew. Matheue or IEU?
Matthew.
It's Matthew. He said, "Hi Jay, love your work. As Skunkworks is an overkill machine, will we see a 6950X on it? Keep rocking, Jerry. Ladies."
I'm waiting for Intel to respond. I'm trying. But I'm not gonna pay for it. It has to be sponsored. I'm not gonna pay for that.
It's got to be.
That sounds super snobby, but it's one of those things where if they want to sponsor this like high profile over the top system, then fine. But otherwise, my 5960X gets the job done.
Yeah, and I think they will. Jacob Southfield said, "Hey guys, big fan of you both here. I had an idea for Jay in terms of a CES debacle. Why not crowdfund it on Patreon? And for those who fund the trip via Patreon will receive the CES Day 1 video on Day 1 on YouTube. That'll go up on Day 2, and without the pre-roll sponsor ads or the sponsor spots on the YouTube channel. The pre-roll sponsor spots will be there. So on the YouTube channel, the pre-rolls are in there, but on the Patreon video, it isn't."
What he doesn't understand is I already do same day uploads on CES. I don't post anything. I don't prime anything, and I don't schedule anything.
Well, you say delay it a day though for the YouTube channel.
No, it's there's too much to keep track of already. It's hectic to be like, okay, this video is go live on this day. I've got to release it to these people on this time, and I've already got sponsorships lined up, so I'm not doing the crowdsource funding.
All right, so it sounds like you've already picked your way. You know how you're going to do it.
The crowd the crowd has learned and understands that I am picky and selective with the ads that I'll run, so they know that I won't just take any ad that has the $sign in front of it. So they know that they're going to get relevant ads during CES, and they know I'm going to do it in a way that's less intrusive. So what I learned when I mentioned that 2 weeks ago was that my audience is okay with the ads because I've established myself as someone that won't just run any ad, and I'm okay with that, and they're okay with it. So we've got a mutual understanding here.
Good job. Let's see. Ronnie Mantiernini said, first time live, first time donating, great show. Any change that either one of you will review, or I think he says any chance either one of you will review an omnidirectional test microphone. Would like to purchase one to tune my car audio setup. So you want an omnidirectional test microphone? Weren't we just playing with this one beforehand?
That's a condenser mic. It's a cardioid.
Oh, it is. Oh, is that? Wait. So what's he talking about then?
Omnidirectional will be something that picks up in like a 360 pattern.
Yeah, but this one has that option. See, look. See, you flip that little thing, now it's a 360-degree pickup. Well, they claim.
Okay, so the 2050 is then.
Let's check. Okay, so now we're on this microphone. So 360 degrees. Check. It
stayed the same.
Seems to work. Now let's see if I flip it. We're doing like a review right now. Okay, so let me change it over to the other pickup pattern. Check.
Everyone's wait, hold on. Everyone's calling me out for doing the Norton ad. You guys realize there was only one Norton ad, right? And do you know why?
Oh, you guys know.
Do you guys know why you didn't see it on anyone else's channel? Because you guys were so loud on mine, they canceled the campaign entirely.
You guys killed the campaign, man. You actually, you know what you did? You forced that company to basically pay Jay and kill themselves in the same process. Are you proud of yourselves?
I did a semantic ad 2 years ago, and no one. Well, I wouldn't say no one, but it did not get the hate response that it did this year. So when Norton, okay, here's the thing. Norton basically was like, "Do you want to do it again?" And I said, "Fuck no." And they're like, "What?" And I said, "Look at the comments." I said, "Look at this. Nobody cares what the video I made. The video was completely overshadowed by how shitty the sponsor was." I said, "So no, of course I'm not going to do another one." So what happened was other YouTubers, believe it or not, and I'll leave them nameless because I want to let them go ahead and be the white knights that everyone thinks that they are. But people were like, "Thank God, blah 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 is not doing this ad." They were signed up to do the ad. They had already created the ad, just didn't go live yet. Thank God, blah 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 didn't sell out. Yes, they did. None of them had to actually do the ad because everyone got so mad at me that campaign was pulled Fortunately, those YouTubers still got paid. So they got
Hey.
paid. They got paid to not do the ad because of the hate. So
Hey, it wasn't on the list.
yeah, because they wanted views.
I wish
Anyway, so anyway, I love you, man. So yeah, anyway, guess what? Because you guys got so mad at me, the other YouTubers got paid and didn't have to do it.
you guys just killed Norton. You guys literally killed Norton. What you've done.
Nuck
Listen,
Fortin. Someone said
so-
Nuck Fortin.
So back to Ronnie. Audio Technica AT2050 seems to be pretty damn omnidirectional.
Yeah, but how's he gonna power that thing in his car? I mean, is he gonna get a camera like mine with phantom power or what?
Just run 2 car batteries in series, right? Oh, she
Yeah.
needs 4 volts. He needs 4 batteries in series.
Mm-hmm.
He'll figure it out. If smoke comes out, then blame Samsung.
Hashtag proud to kill Norton. Okay, so don't say I don't listen to my audience because you guys hated it and I didn't do it again and I turned down 4-digit numbers. So there you go.
Numbers. That's them's big numbers. Rob Davis said, Jerry, I'm a sysadmin outside of PowerShell. What programming language should I learn? Robert, I love C#. C# is actually like now pretty much open source across all platforms. Fantastic language. I've also heard that Python for a sysadmin role, Python would actually be a really good language to learn. I'm actually going to be learning it myself. Both those languages have a very, very short ramp up time, and you can create like really, really cool stuff in very minimal amount of time.
I didn't know you could make code with a snake.
You can make code with the snake all day long, every day. Let's see. We have Jesse K came in. Hi, Jay and Jerry. Now that we're moving into the cooler months, any chance on a video about using an AMD
Cooler months.
space heater?
The cooler months, he says.
Cooler months for Jay, yeah.
The
Or where you
coo-
turn
wait,
air
when-
down with notch.
Tomorrow, 94. Saturday, 94. Sunday, 95.
I'll tell you what. If I can find somebody that I know that has an AMD box, I will borrow it and put it in my like insert in my hands and cook some hot dogs on.
The cooler months, he says.
Let's see. VR Ball Enclosures said, "Hey Jerry and Jay, I tried to send a donation to Jay, but feel like a peasant and can't find the dollar in the comments section.
He might be in an area that it's not available in all areas. So
just wanted to thank you for all the laughs, bat knife, and your printing videos. You helped me. So we got
you know when I talk, it mutes Jerry. That's a really neat feature. You should do the rest of these in your voice changer.
I think I will. He said, choose an Ultimaker too. Okay, question now for Jay. Yeah, if you can find a sign, I'll donate to him too. I believe that Jay said he had a Nissan Altima. I believe he does. I was given
2011.
He has a 2002 Altima last week, and my dad and I are looking for performance mods as a little hobby. It's a little 4-cylinder, but just thought I'd ask you guys about general consumer car modifications.
The 2002, I think it's like the GLE. I think
Yeah, it's a 4-banger.
well, so is mine. Mine's a 2.5S.
I didn't know.
They changed the engine in 2003, and it's the same engine today in 2016 as it was in 2003. The only difference is it has a CVT transmission. There's no point in modifying that car, dude. There's just not. Seriously. It's not going to be any faster. It'll just be louder and more obnoxious and bram, bram, brap, rap, rap. Seriously, it's just not worth putting any money into a 2002 Altima. I don't want to be that guy, but that's the answer you needed to hear.
Yes. Okay, so Star Orion Film said, hey, Jerry, this is really a message for Jay. Of course it is.
Hi.
I'm starting a water cooling build soon on my modded 450D case. What rad setup would you recommend? Would a single 360 work for both CPU and GPU?
Yes.
Bam, you got it.
Go with a
Just-
45 mil thick rad if you can. I believe it'll fit in the top of a 750D. 750D is just a smaller 900D without the vertical rad in the bottom. I think you can also fit potentially a 240 or maybe a 280 in the front. If you can, I would go with 2 rads just to have the extra space so you can slow down the fans. Otherwise, yes, a 360 should be enough to cool even an AMD GPU and a Intel CPU.
Dude, that case wants the D. Justin Edwards said, hey, Jerry, love you and yours and Jay's videos. I'm planning on upgrading my PC within the next 6 months. I currently have 4 monitors. Wow, good job. But I want to move to 6. Oh, my God. I love playing games in Surround, but unfortunately, Surround only supports up to 5 monitors. I'm not so sure, but well, with 1 card maybe. With multiple cards, you should be able to surpass that. My question, when do you think NVIDIA will up that to 6, and do you know of any workarounds for this problem? Until I can find a solution, I'm just going to upgrade to 5 monitors and portrait with an accessory display. Thank you for your time. See, that's the thing is, I've seen setups with more than 5 monitors. Haven't you?
Usually that's Ifinity. AMD supports more monitors.
Okay. Maybe that's where I see it.
Yeah.
I don't why they would put that limitation on there, honestly, because if the cards have all the headers and they can support all the bandwidth, I don't know why they wouldn't do it. Be careful with the auxiliary
because
monitor.
proprietary.
Yeah, proprietary. But I did have problems with an auxiliary display. That's why I no longer use it. I still have it physically up there. But as soon as you enable the auxiliary display, all your surround shit just goes haywire. So I would recommend against it, honestly. Donovan said, how's the weight loss going? And it's nice to watch you guys live again. I miss you guys for a few weeks. The weight loss is going pretty good. I hit a hiccup, though. You always do. I went to New York. I didn't count my calories while I was in New York. I came back and I gained 4 pounds. Now, granted,
but hold on. Hold on. Let me tell you the first thing my trainer always tells me.
Yes.
When you fly, stay off the scale for a week because you bloat and you retain water. That's why when they would do their physique competitions, they would fly out a week early so that their water can normalize.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, well, I talked to John, Obese to Beast, and he told me, like, he's like, dude, don't even worry about it. He's like, when you plateau, you want to break from the routine and you want to shock your body. But I'm back on it today. Everything's counting, everything's going back into my pal. But
I mean, being out, and about like that, you obviously have eaten more sodium. Even if you try and eat better at a restaurant that's loaded with sodium, it's going to make you retain water. Plus, flying adds to it. So, and then my own personal trainer tells me that, and he's a physique coach. So. Yeah. I would just look at it this way: don't get on the scale for a week and then check.
Yeah. So guys, anyway, at any rate, though, I am doing good. Before I left, I was 278. Now I'm 281. But still, compared to 310 where I started, things are going really well. And I feel a lot better. I genuinely feel better. I don't sound better because I blew my voice out of Maker Faire. But no, I had a lot easier time getting around at Maker Faire. Let's see. Sorry, I'm not going through these as fast. Jordan Dibble said, hey, Jerry, ask Jay why he thinks my name is Epic. He states this every time I donate to him on YouTube. It's Jordan
Epic.
Dibble.
I know there's just something about the Dibble.
I like the Dibble.
Well, what's your name? Let me pull up his name here so I can. So there's just I don't know. It's just something about the Dibble. It's like,
is it like Dab?
What's your name? Dibble.
Yeah. And there you
Jay
go, guys.
Dibble. No, that's Dab. That's Dab. That's a different vowel.
What's Dibble? Is that Dibble?
No, you just flagged me.
Jared Zarnikow said, hey, Jerry, thanks for chatting with me at World Maker Faire. I'm very glad I went this year. It inspired me to want to do a lot more in tech and 3D printing. So hopefully when I see you again, I'll have something cool to show you. I sure hope so. Don't try to compete with me like that 3D printing nerd Joel Telling guy, though, because I will break you. Okay, break you. I'm just kidding. Joel's kicking my ass. Costa Rompapas? That's the best name ever. Rompapas. Said, hello, Jerry from Australia. Jay didn't read my donation alert last round, but I'm going to be getting a new PSU.
Well, there's still more.
He said, I've always had coil wine with Corsair PSUs. Is it true that if I get an EVGA or another, it will lower my GPU coil wine? Plus, don't read my name. Oops, don't do it, Jerry. Why'd you put it at the end then?
Guys, if you don't want us to read your name,
put it in the beginning.
Like, make it all caps in the beginning. Don't read my name.
With caution and some stars.
I don't think he wants his wife or girlfriend or whatever to know he wants to buy another card. Is the reason
I think he
why.
might be messing around too because he put hashtag don't do it, Jerry. Anyways, yeah. So
Whoa.
I'm serious about
that. Is your voice changer still on?
No. Why?
Like every now and then for like a second, like a couple of words will do it and then won't. So you're like, I don't know. It's really
and
weird.
it sounds like this.
Yeah, but like for a split second and then it goes away.
I wonder if the board's got a short in it or something. I'll keep an eye on that.
Okay, so usually the coil wine with 2 cards would technically go down because the GPU usage with 2 cards tends to go down unless it's a title that's going to really max out SLI and you've got VSync off. So coil wine, dude, it's just hit or miss. It really depends. Sometimes, too, the cooler design can make coil wine sound louder because it resonates through the cooler. Typically, like, so my Titan X Pascals made no coil wine that I could notice on air, but that's because the fans were louder than the coil wine was. Now that they're on water and they have a solid block on them, which almost gives it like more surface area for the coils to resonate because the inductors are being touched by the block, the coil wine is now loud on them. And I can hear it when I'm benchmarking, but not when I'm gaming because I'm not putting the core under that much stress. So, if you're looking to try and get rid of coil wine by adding second card, that just sounds like an excuse to go SLI to me.
Just go SLI, even though it's against it. SLI is awesome. Joshua Bradford said, "Hey Jerry, donated to Jay last time, so here's 15. Question for Jay though, of course it is. Which AIB 1080 should I get? Looking between F for the win and Amp Extreme. Also trying to make it last a long time. So stock now and overclocked later, or would degradation just give me a bad overclock later on it? I'm trying to squeeze out what I can now.
So overclocking it, I don't think it'll degrade it enough in your lifetime of using that card to notice. Like, let's just say the card was going to last 15 years. It might only last 9 or 10 years after that. I mean, you're going to replace the card long before the degradation's really going to notice. If you try and run it at its max stable overclock now, then over time you might notice you have to start bumping it back a few steps every now and then. But I would go with the For the Win, and not because I'm a fan of EVGA, which is full disclosure, but because the Amp Extreme you mentioned is a huge card. It's a 3-slot card, and if you ever wanted to go SLI later, then you have spacing issues with some motherboards to fit 2 3-slot cards. So I would just go with the For the Win. I think it's cleaner looking. It doesn't have that backplate on there. A ton of people don't like the gray and yellow. So I would go with the For the Win because it's got dual BIOS on there, amazing cooler, and it overclocks really well.
Nice. Paula Elmore. Ooh, we got a Dublin to Ireland guy in here. He said it's 2 a.m. and there's no hurricane to hide from. Been watching for a while. Have a coffee on me. When will UW 1440p 144 hertz panels be out?
When will what?
Ultra wide 1440p 144 hertz panels.
Oh, I thought we already had one.
I kind of thought so. An ultra,
especially since I thought there was one, but I could be wrong. And I thought it was an Acer, but I could be wrong. I know Asus has a 4K 144 hertz panel that's supposed to be coming out at any moment. So with having that refresh rate at 4K, I don't think we'll be long before we see ultra wide 21:9 144 hertz 1440p.
I have a question for you.
Oh boy.
Oh, that's weird. I could just hear myself for a second through. I think your headphones got close to the microphone. I was like, what?
I was scratching my ear.
Conrad Oleshki said, "Sup guys, donated to pay, so I'm returning the favor." Now you're doing it to me again, aren't you?
I'm speech jamming you.
A bit late. Wanted to ask what your thoughts on the clown issue. What's the clown issue?
So it's happening all over the place. It's even happened in my neighborhood. The neighborhood watch has also notified everyone that, like, hey, there are the creepy clowns. Because I live near a park that also has a walking trail. Mm-hmm. And there's a walking trail through my neighborhood. And the thing is, there's walls on either side of that trail. So if you're in that trail and someone blocks your path, you turn around or jump a wall to try and get out of that path. Well, the other day, a teenage girl was walking down the path, and it was like dusk-ish hour, like 7 o'clock at night.
Okay.
And then someone dressed up like Pennywise clown, right, from It, like walks out in front of her on the path, like, you know, a few yards ahead of her, and then she stops and was like, what the hell? And she turns around to walk back the other way, and there's one behind her. So she screamed and ran, right? And they didn't grab her or anything like that. But the thing is, here's what's going to happen. Someone's going to get shot, and they're going to rightfully get shot. Because here's the thing. There has also been reports of people breaking into homes, doing rapes, and also doing just malicious things as clowns. And somebody someday, somewhere is going to get spooked, they're going to get capped, and they're going to deserve it. That's the way I see it. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. One, I don't like clowns, but I wouldn't kick a clown's ass just simply because they're a clown. But if I'm walking and they try and block my path like they're trying to be some sort of aggressive towards me, I'm going to fuck your shit up, and you're not even going to know what's going to happen, because I guarantee you I'm not going to give you the opportunity to make me wonder if you're going to do something malicious. Now, this has happened literally on the other side of my fence. That's how close this was. So I'm constantly keeping an eye out. But I'm telling you right now, if you think you're going to walk up or up in front of my... Because the other thing they're doing, too, is they're walking up to homes that have surveillance cameras, and they're just standing there staring at the doorstep kind of thing. I guarantee you, if you're a clown and you come up to me like that, you're going to get your shit wrecked. I guarantee it. Don't test me on that, because it's going to happen. And somebody's going to get shot, and they're going to deserve it.
Well, I live in Washington.
One clown already got shot, headshot. Good. There you go. We need more clowns to be clowned, if you know what I'm saying.
I'll tell you right now, I agree with you. If I go and look through my security camera system and I see a freaking crazy clown standing in my front yard, I'm going to do two things. I'm going to call 911 and alert the cops, and then I'm going to go out and hold you at bay with an AR-15.
No. I'm going to knock your ass out, sit on your chest, and then call the cops. That's the way it's going to go down on my end.
Wow. So you got some options. That's fucked up, though, honestly. Like, that's taking shit too far. And if this is all part of like some YouTube internet prank thing where this is like the new
No, it's Halloween time, and here's the thing: it's like they're almost doing it like Purge style. Because remember the last Purge was like all clowns and stuff.
I still have not seen either of those movies. Is it worth watching?
The first one was okay, but then it started going the way of like, it started going the way of like Paranormal Activity, where they just keep doing the same thing.
Oh,
right?
okay.
You got 24 hours where all crime is legal or whatever. Yep. I don't know.
Let's see here. Derek said, "Hey Jerry, I'm flying to Seattle this Friday for Vlogger Fair." Wait, is Vlogger Fair this Friday? Oh, the Friday of Vlogger Fair. I thought you said this Friday. I was like, oh crap, my schedule's screwed. I will be at Vlogger Fair if you guys are wondering. Any good spots to hit while I'm there, especially restaurants? Want to take my wife somewhere fancy for a late birthday date. Seattle is got tons and tons and tons of restaurants. I'm trying to think of like I don't go to Seattle a whole lot, like down in the city.
G-Rob says, I'm gonna kill clowns, but I digress.
I'm gonna kill clowns. Like, yeah, dude, you got pretty. I'm starting to think that Jay might actually have like a deep down clown fear.
No, I like I said, I don't like clowns, and there's a phobia there. But the thing is, what I don't like more is people who terrorize the neighborhood.
What cause? I'm curious though, from somebody who actually has that phobia, because I never have. Like, I don't see clowns as any other. But if it was Pennywise, that's different. Pennywise looks like a psychotic, like crazy person. But for some reason, clowns have never bugged me. But I know there's some people that are like horribly scared of them. Do you know what that stems from? Is that just
I can't pinpoint any traumatic event. It's just something that I've always known has been there.
Interesting, because I know it's common. It's more common than most phobias actually.
I think it's something about something that's always smiling even when it's frowning.
Maybe that's what it is.
I don't know.
That's crazy. Matthew Lionel said, "Hey, this is Matthew from in French." Oh, it's Matthew. Oh, it is Matthew. It's Matthew in French. All right, we got it. He said, "My bad for the tornado." What do you guys think of the Renault Megane RS? The Renault Megane is actually awesome, but they would never
think about that car.
It was on Top Gear. It's actually a decent car. It's like their version of like I guess you'd say like a hopped up Honda Civic kind of thing. They're actually like legitimately quick.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Let's see. Mike Mixon said, "Hey, for the guys wanting to do car videos and pick up the sound, get 2 mics." It's funny. We got people donating to answer other people's questions.
I know, right?
He said, if the guy wanted to do car videos to pick up the sound, get 2 mics, one for in the cab that only picks up the speech in the cab, and another one next to the exhaust so you can mix them in. Interesting.
Yeah, because if you have the mic in the car, it's all muffled. Then what guys will do is they'll go on drives and they'll have like their GoPro camera or something, right? Yep. But then the sound's all shitty for the engine. They'll just have another mic like taped to the trunk on the outside of the car to pick up the audio, and then they just 2-track it in post.
That's actually a good idea. I'm gonna have to use that when I do mine. Because I was just gonna do all my car views to the lab, but you kind of need to mix in car audio because people want to hear this. Right?
So Joe, my sleever, he's been texting me, right? He's the one who told me one already got shot in the head or something. He says in his town, 4 were arrested and they're cited with public. There's inciting terror, public disturbance, and harassment is what they're getting charged with. So basically, It's like a public mischief kind of thing.
Oh, is it? None of those would be felonies?
No.
Oh. Let's see. Oh, I missed one a while back. It was Mikhail Chalker. Sorry. He said, "Love the channel. Don't ever change apart from losing weight. I'll give Jay some love too." Yeah, no, guys, the losing weight thing, it's like, and the one thing I want to reiterate is I talked to Obese to Beast like immediately after I got back from New York because I was pretty discouraged. I was worn out. I gained weight when I thought I didn't. Because even though I didn't eat, super good in New York, I was still pretty conscious about having meals and not snacking and stuff like that. But when I talked to him, he's like, he was so glad that I actually kind of went off the path because that's like, it's important. It's about the long game. It's not about the short game. It's about losing weight over time. And if you play day to day to day, and Jay, you've told me this a million times too, if you do the day to day to day thing, you'll constantly be discouraged and feel defeated. You have to look at it over time. And over time, I'm kicking absolute ass. My doctor was shocked today when I stood on the scale. His scale said 281. Last time I was in there, it was 308.
Yeah.
So he was like, holy crap.
It's like the same thing with what I do is because remember I'm specifically now on lean mass gain, so I'm constantly doing like heavy lifting, and it doesn't matter if you're trying to gain weight through lifting, you're trying to lose fat. If you stick to the plan, all you need is time.
Yeah.
But that plan can include those deviations. They need to include those deviations. It's just how much you deviate is going to depend on your willpower. Because some people can deviate and then they're just like off the path entirely,
No, that's what I felt like was starting to happen, but I was able to relatively easily get back onto it.
Yeah.
My wife's killing it though. Miss Barnacles, she's lost 30 pounds. She's lost more than me at this point now.
Wow.
I'm like, and she didn't weigh as much as I did either. So she's lost a higher percentage of her body, and she's like staying the course.
Guys,
so good, like,
I've met his wife. I guarantee she was not a 300-pound woman.
No, not even.
And she's also way taller than him too. So
and way taller than me, and she's looking really
she's
good.
like
I'm
as tall as me, man. What are you talking about?
Yes, she's up there, man. I like them long legs. You need them to get around a big guy like me, but I digress.
Whoa.
Frankly said, Jay's is normal that my EK. Okay, Jay, is it normal that my EK water pump gets hot? Yes, your water pump should get hot. Actually,
if it's a D5, then well, DDCs get hot too. Remember, it's not a EK pump. It's more than likely a Lang pump, which is branded DK.
Yeah, he's saying I'm running a 360 radiator to my two 1070 Asus water cooling GPUs, overclocked at 2154 stable, temperatures at 40 C, and the EK CE 140 millimeter single radiator to my CPU temperature at 45 with play at the time. Thank you all. So 40 C and 45 isn't nothing, and yeah, your pump is going to get hot. I even noticed on my build that I did going through two GPUs and CPUs on one loop and two 360 rads that the pump did get noticeably hot, even though technically it has no moving parts. It's just all induction, right?
Well, there's a circuit board in both the D5 and the DDC. The thing is, the D5 is cooled by the fluid going through it, so it is actively cooled by the fluid. The DDC is not. So the DDC usually there's a heat sink top that you can put on there. Technically, it's a bottom, and it even has a heat pad, and it will ambient cool the pump.
Gotcha.
The faster you run the pump, the hotter the pump gets.
So I've only got 3 more, and then
I've got 5.
Okay, so VR Ball Enclosure said peasant again. It must be because I'm Canadian and I can't see the donation button. Just thought I'd ask about the Ultima. My dad's in the auto industry and he wants to make every one of his cars unique. Yeah, he's that guy. Another question for Jay. I've been considering a hard tube liquid cooling system in the Thermaltake Core P5, but I wanted to know if you thought that a 480 rad would be enough for an X99 monoblock and a 1080. Also, what's your guys' opinion on the Mafia 3 being capped to 30 frames per second on PC? I am pissed about any games being capped to 30 frames per second. I'm really getting sick of this shit.
I don't know. I think it's real cinematic.
Wasn't that Ubisoft that said that?
Yeah. This is how we want it presented.
That's just lazy porting. Is it a PC port or a console port? Okay.
It sounds like it's a console port, yeah.
No PC game, I think, would be made and locked at 30 FPS if it was designed for PC. Your 480 should be enough. Keep in mind, though, that VRMs on X99, when you overclock, can get pretty hot, depending on your CPU. So 480 might be barely enough, depending if you want to overclock your CPU and your GPU, because as you overclock your CPU, the VRMs are going to exponentially get hotter. A lot of heat comes off those VRM chokes.
It's going to get hot. Adriano Gardenti said, that's Garden Tea. Says it like 980 Ti. He's like, I love how these people are telling us how to spell their names. Awesome. Anyways, I like Jay better, but you get my monies because YouTube's a dick and I can't donate. Stupid question. If you had to choose what PC components to be, which would you be and why? P.S. You're totally cool though.
You know what I would be. You're totally cool, Jerry. He still likes you.
Oh my god!
You know I would be a GPU. Come on, it's the most important part of the system.
Oh, you'd be a pump, dude. You're just a big old pump.
Okay, yeah, I would be a pump. There you go. But that's not a component, though. That's a cooling. That's a different type of.
No, but hear me. This gets deep. It's because it runs through everything. See, you want to flow through everything else, so the pump pushes through everything. Let's see here.
Don't ever say that to me again.
I know the last one is Michael Hale. He said, "Love you guys. I love your show. Hey Jerry, also rock 50-inch TVs for monitors. Rock on, dude. You're awesome." 50-inch life, 4K for the win. All right, I'm going to cut off my donations right there. Jay, you go ahead and read yours, and I got to run to the bathroom because I'm about ready to piss myself. I'll be right back.
Austin Pierce says it's already turbo. You can even get an STI drivetrain in a limited edition. Well, then I would I would definitely get the Legacy GT over the 350. It might be a little slower than the 350 stock, but I would still get it. Mitchell Dupree, Barnacles. Oh, guy's not here. I'll read that when he gets back. Tyler Oceanhurt says, I have a 6700K and a Strix 1080 OC edition based PC. I'm in the market for a 1440p 144Hz G-Sync monitor. Any suggestions? Asus has some fantastic panels that are G-Sync. Acer Has some fantastic panels that are G-Sync and 1440p, 144 hertz. Of course, there's the Swift panel. I think they're on like a V2. Huh? I think they're on like a V2 version of that panel, so I would have to look. But Asus, Acer, gosh, I don't remember what other brands are out there right now for panels. But anyway, yeah, there's that. There was a question I skipped, Jerry, because it was addressed to you. That came through me. So, Barnacles, I've had to stop F at H because what's F at H?
Folding at home.
Oh, folding at home because I'm having OpenCL problems and putting it back into System 32 isn't fixing the problem. He needs help.
Oh, crap. Well, email me. We'll try to get it worked out. The folding at home stuff, a couple people have been having problems with it. I'm hoping to get some support team from Stanford to help people. But real quickly, I do actually here, finish your questions, then we'll close out the show with the top 10 people in the folding at home team because I do want to get them recognition. Because we're 45th right now.
I kind of wish I could participate in that, but my electricity costs are just too high.
No, I agree with that. Don't participate if your electricity costs like 10 times more than mine.
I barely ran my AC the last month because I just wanted to keep it down. Because remember, I have two ACs and it was still $400. Yeah. Robert Van Edda says, "Hi guys, love your videos. Haven't overclocked $5, so he's donated $6."
Nice. T overclocked $5. Nice.
Clever. Chris W says, "Jay and Jerry, would there be any water cooling kits that you would recommend similar to the full kits that EK have? EK
yes.
P240. I have one right down there, actually. Okay, so XSPC makes one, AlphaCool makes one, but in terms of quality, the EK kit is the best, honestly.
I personally like garden hose and aquarium pumps because that's like back to your roots.
Lowe's and Home Depot for the win.
Would you ever do that, honestly? Like, would you ever do just for like an April Fool's, like actually make a real liquid cooled computer using like the old crap, like just put together fittings from lawn sprinklers and stuff?
Yeah, actually, I was planning on doing that. Using just like the cheapest water block I could find off like performance PCs, and then getting like a cheap pump, or even finding an aquarium pump like I used to do, and then literally just G-quarter threading it up in the brass section at Home Depot.
Dude, or make it, dude. Like my friend did, and actually get the little plastic project enclosures, cut them out, and stick them over the heat sinks on stuff and epoxy them. Just there's got to be a company that would like
I don't know.
Give you the
I
stuff.
guarantee for me it would leak if I made it. And then Atomic 2K10 says, tinnitus solves coil whine.
No, it makes it like that's where you have sounds like hurt your inner ear really bad.
Oh, I see. Because it makes it so you can't hear the whine anymore.
I think it makes.
Saying.
I think
every time I did my coil whine video, and the amount of people that were like, "I don't hear coil whine," was actually astonishing. Because I forget that some people can't hear that little buzzing frequency, and then it's shocking to me. The people that were like, "I cranked my speakers and I heard nothing," either that or they just didn't know what they were listening for. But it was amazing. I completely underestimated simply how many people were going to not be able to hear the whine. All right, that was the last one for me.
All right, so to end this, let's go ahead and talk about folding team number 231300, otherwise known as Barnacles Nerdgasm. We are currently ranked as the 45th best team overall in the entire world for total work done and everything. Oh, we're number one right now for number of active users, number one for most power. So like,
obviously they're all AMD users.
Yeah, we're literally ranked every other day. So the top 10, I'm gonna go really quick. I've been bumped to 5, dude. I'm in 5th place now. So 4 other people have dethroned me. The top person on my team is Mr. Paris.
By the way, I say good because that means more people are doing things for cancer research.
Oh, massively. Yeah, Mr. Paris has processed 182 million units. Like, it's insane. He's literally ranked in the world as the 949th single contributor, which is actually way up there when you consider how many people there are. Followed by Kevlar Condom, who overtook Simplify Live TV in 3rd place. Kevlar Condom couldn't handle him actually beating him, so he went out and bought more Titans.
I saw that.
Man, you don't mess with Kevlar, man. You don't mess with them. Number 4 is Serrated. Number 5, Barnacles. Number 6, Ostin. Number 7, BDK21. 8th place is Eagle Eye 902003. Number 9 is Jason with a C 217, and coming in at number 10 is Gas VTI. So GAS VTI. And all of them are in literally the hundreds of millions of units processed. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. So you guys are awesome. Holy crap. Our team is like doing amazing things.
I want someone to gift this so I can send this to anyone who ever sends me a nasty tweet. So I can be like,
yay! You done good. You done real good.
I just want to point out, this is the first stream I did since changing around my internet, and guess how many frames I dropped?
How many frames you drop?
0.
0?
I dropped 0 frames. Normally at the end of our streams, I would drop like 400 or 500.
I'm going to pick a random effect. Really? Wait, that's not an effect.
That's just Jerry. It's the worst one of all, I guarantee it.
How about this? Is that an effect? Whoa.
Whoa, get out of the bathroom.
What's up?
Totally in the bathroom.
Y'all done good. We should do the outro like this.
All right, go ahead.
All right. Thank you for watching Tech Talk. I'm sorry my voice is shot and we didn't talk a lot about tech, but CSGO is bad and K don't do it. And yeah, raise your kids to be better than that. If you play CSGO, call me.
No. No one.